and putting up turrets in his base, getting everything researched, getting his base put together, getting extra racks up. So really admirable multitasking ability there for him. It looks like Kwanro, no, he's got a decent amount of drones actually. He's got his 2 gas going as well. And he's got a chunk of Mutalisks now. And here's really where Miracle's test is going to be. He needs to survive this Mutalisk harass. Or, you know, well, obviously he won't survive. But he's going to have a lot of multitasking to do here, and he's going to have to try and focus his troops in different positions, trying to defend his front, his natural, and the back of his base in a couple different points as well, because Kwanro is going to be able to just run his Mutalisks all over the place, run them all around, and Hydralisk Den going down. Miracle is going to spot that with a nice Comsat. So Kwanro going for a pretty normal thing here, going to switch into Lurkers and use these Mutalisks to keep Miracle in his base while he switches to Lurkers. Miracle with a lot of, and really nice, oh geez, losing a few Marines there, some nice harass going on finally. He's picked off 4 or 5 SCVs total, but he really needs to be more aggressive. It's surprising to say that about Kwanro. Kwanro needed to be more aggressive, but he really needs to be more aggressive. He should have picked off that SCV building the starport, for instance. Would have been a really nice kill to get. Slow down that starport, that sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, Kwanro is going to go for a long-term game. Okay, Kwanro has put down his other expansion in the bottom left area as well. So he's going to try and keep Miracle in his base with these Mutalisks. And, oh, we're having to run around the outside there. Oh, loses a single Mutalisk. Oh, running and taking a lot of fire from those Marines there without doing any damage. But that's what you get when you attack over open territory. He'd be better off using those ridges that are around. And Miracle knowing that Comsats to spot those Mutalisks over the ridge. But yeah, Kwanro just really needs to start doing more damage, I think. I mean, he can... I guess it's not too big of a deal to not do as much damage if you do manage to save them and accomplish the goal of keeping the enemy in their base and save them for later and have them for later. But once the Irradiate gets out, and I don't know why he's not picking off that other SCV, yeah, Kwanro just not being as aggressive as one might expect. Here's the Lurkers morphing in the field, and Miracle feels he has enough forces, or maybe he feels that he needs to at this point in time to move out. Kwanro, in the meantime, is going to try and pull him back to his base by attacking the turrets and go after those barracks, which is a really smart place to put your Marines. But no, Miracle is going straight for the kill. He's going to run straight in, up the ramp, and there are Lurkers out in the field, but they're not in the best position. And in the meantime, Miracle's going to run his entire force up that ramp, and I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, another Lurker is out nearby that ramp, in a good position. I don't know if he has a Comsat. Okay, it's not close enough to the ramp, actually, and he's actually run his force back down the ramp, and I don't know why he did that. He had a really good spot there. Maybe he was afraid of Lurkers in the back. Maybe he was afraid of stop Lurkers inside Kwanro's base, which is a pretty legitimate fear, but I guess he could have Comsat. He's got 2 stations. Maybe he doesn't have as much Comsat energy as he could, since he has been scanning for scouting and what have you. And there's Lurkers on the ramp. That's going to be extremely difficult to go up that ramp. He needs to borrow that last Lurker on the top, though, if he's really going to make this effective. But so many Marines going down. An entire squad of Marines going down. It looks like Kwanro may have this in the bag eventually because, well, I mean, it's possible to play 2-base Terran against 4-base Zerg, but Kwanro is getting that 4th base up. He's getting his Queen's Nest down, going for the Hive. And once that Hive tech comes out, if Miracle doesn't have several science vessels in the air and or just a better tech or a 3rd base or something, then he's going to be in big trouble because Kwanro has that 4th base established. I don't know if Miracle even knows about that 4th base down there. Oh, he's putting his tanks next to the ridge. Kwanro must have been macroing because he wasn't paying attention. Otherwise, I think he would have gone. Oh, Irradiate goes off with the entire group of Mutalisks. He needs to separate. He needs to separate. No! The Mutalisk's dying and it scans. Oh my gosh. Ton of Mutalisks going down. Wow. A ton of, and that basically a single Irradiate ate the entire group of Mutalisks. He does have Lurkers out now, so he's not completely in horrible shape, but that was something he did not want to do. That was several hundred hit points worth of meat that he could have thrown in to distract fire while Zerglings and Lurkers went after the army in this situation, because he's going to get sieged up momentarily here. It looks like he's only got a couple Mutalisks left. And 1-1 upgrades now for those Marines for Miracle, so he is really in good shape. Zerglings just suiciding in there, just too much firepower, and his Sunkens are under siege now as well. I'm not sure why Kwanro is running those Zerglings in there. I wonder if he has them rallied, or it's possible that they're just close enough to this attack that they're running in automatically. Sometimes Zerglings will run in automatically if they feel that the base is under attack next to them. It's part of the AI. But he is, and Science Vessels out now as well, are going to be able to spot to try and take out those lurkers. So Kwanro is actually in really bad shape here. He does have the 4 bases, but if he loses his natural expansion, it's not going to do too much good. Kwanro setting up for a sandwich attack. This is all in. This is last ditch. This is the last ditch pincher attack for Kwanro. He needs to succeed with this attack. He's going to go in with forces from both sides. Here he comes in. Zerglings and lurkers from the front. Lurkers in the back. They're not quite close enough. Not quite close enough. They're going to get slaughtered by the Marines with the science vessel in the area. No! Absolute slaughter of Kwanro's forces. Absolute slaughter. And that is the game. Miracle has just won this game because that was Kwanro's all-in, last-ditch pincher attack. And it's pretty much over at this point. He only has a single science vessel. He's managed to protect that single science vessel using all of his guys to produce tanks instead of more vessels. And now a second wave of troops coming in to support is just going to finish this off. And we're going to see GG any minute now. So, wow. Miracle playing a great game. I was really surprised that those firebats did as much distraction as they did before. That was really surprising to see him go in with those firebats after having his few Marines taken out. And that was really a genius maneuver, actually in hindsight, to go ahead and do that, to go in with a few firebats and go up that ramp, because it's forced Kwanro to make extra sunks that he wouldn't have had to if he just did a frontal attack or something like that. So really, really nicely done by Miracle. And Kwanro showing some excellent play as well, I have to say. Maybe I'm just saying that because I am a Kwanro fan. But just was not quite enough. And I really have to put it down to that pincher attack. I think he just... And this happens with a lot of Zergs. You get a little bit too anxious and want to burrow those lurkers as fast as possible. Finally, that vessel goes down. But far too late. He needed to kill that vessel about 5 minutes ago to win the game. But anyway, so yeah, the pincher attack not going well at all, and just left way too much room in between the lurkers and the Marines. And I guess, I mean, they're pro gamers, so they probably know better than I do. Maybe they lose too many lurkers if they go in farther. But and that's part of it, is that he didn't have the mutas to suck up damage while the lurkers got underneath. And he didn't have enough Zerglings because they kept suiciding into the Marines as well. So yeah, all around that pinch attack was just a major failure, and then I guess it partially goes back to that huge irradiate, where Kwanro saw the vessel and probably move-clicked his Mutalisks away, and then went to macro in a different part of the game or something like that. Didn't realize that his Mutas had been irradiated, and lost the entire group of them. So there's Kwanro going down there. It looks like Iris had gone to give him some support. So anyway, Miracle winning the game for Khan. Khan up 2-0 now in this set. CJ has some catching up to do if they're going to win this set in order to force the final ace match to try and win the entire thing. So very, very tense going into Game 3. We will see you there. Take care. Thanks for watching.